Hi, this is Dr. Kathy. We've received a referral from your child, and I want to say thank you, first of all, for that. Our process is slightly more complicated than most people's. So I've been working as a doctor for over 34 years, and so I have quite a bit of experience. My brain is very strategic, so I have a process that speeds things up. What we do is when we receive your referral, you should have got an SMS and then you've emailed us. From here, some parents want a conversation. And if that's what you want, then make sure you email back to my staff that you want a conversation and when it suits you. And then they can ring you and talk through where to from here. But if you're happy with messaging, then we'll keep messaging. So once we've received the referral, then I look at it and triage it, which means I look at what do we need to do in order to make the best use of the time. So sometimes I receive a referral and it really isn't best with me. Sometimes it's better with a therapist or a different doctor. And sometimes the time that we have together will be more effective if I've got information in advance. And so we'll pre-sort things. Now, what this means is when you actually get to see me, we're already one appointment ahead because other paediatricians will see you first and then they'll seek that information. But when I was staff at the Children's Hospital, I read the referrals then. So I'm quite experienced at this. So with regard to the assessments that I do, with younger children, I do what's called a Brigance assessment. And this is a developmental assessment that I like because it gets an idea of whether or not your child will qualify for NDS funding and whether or not various therapies are needed. So we will do that. They're introducing a change to NDIS, and we now need a functional assessment. And although the Brigance is a functional assessment, once we've got the assessment done while you're waiting for Kudos to do their part of the process, then we get what's called a Vineland functional assessment. And the reason we use that is because NDIS knows it. With regard to ADHD, we get questionnaires from school and from home prior to the appointment if that might be indicated on the referral. And we get it in. If we get your questionnaires back first, then you'll get an email saying, hey, we don't have the school ones. Can you please talk to the school? You will have needed to give them the link that's in the email with your link. They come together and you need to pass it on. So do that. And then if you get an email that says that we don't have the school questionnaire, please approach them. And if we've got the schools back first, then we will contact you and say, hey, we've got the schools, but we don't have yours. We do charge for scoring. It is a tiny fee. It's simply to pay for the processing. It doesn't actually make money. Psychologists can do the same sort of thing and charge $1,000 to $2,000 at least for the sort of assessment that we do, under $100. And then when I see you, it still isn't always obvious about a diagnosis. And sometimes we actually do need to get your child to see a psychologist to get further information, such as dealing with anxiety and other information about their learning. And so that might be indicated. With regard to autism spectrum disorder, again, I get information about ASD and ADHD at the same time, usually, certainly in the school-age children. And we'll get that from you and from the teacher. And again, the email for you includes the link to the teacher's questionnaires. You'll need to forward that on. Once we've got the information back, if there's any doubt, we'll book it as if we're going to do an ASD assessment. But if it's not clearly ASD, then I won't proceed. The new national guidelines say that If a paediatrician sees the child and it's clearly not, then we don't do the assessment, and I don't even charge ASD assessment rates. If it's not clear to me, then again, I won't do the assessment and I won't charge the rates that you quoted. And then we'll need a speech therapist and a psychologist to do an assessment. If it's obvious to me, I usually need 2 appointments to do it. So in part, this is because the national guidelines recommend an intake appointment and then an assessment appointment. But also by doing it that way, we get the most rebate from Medicare. With regard to our processes, I'm a very strategic thinker, and I've really thought out how do we do this so that you get the best out of Medicare and I can do it in the most efficient manner. The other thing which I need to talk to you about is working with us to make things work. So please, please, please add our email address to your email contact list. If you don't, our emails will end up in junk mail and you won't be getting them, and it will frustrate us. The other thing which we will give you, so if we're going to share documents with you via email, I use a random number website generator. So can you please add the random number to your phone? Now, this is a screenshot from my phone. So you can put the name in, put in the work phone number, and then in the notes section, and there's a note section on all the different type of phones, you can add in the random number that my staff give you, so that if we're then emailing you documents, you can unlock the passcode. If we give you that number and you don't note it down, then you will in future struggle with opening numbers. So if you can do that, it'd be really appreciated. And then the other thing to tell you is that you're going to get an SMS from us 4 days before the appointment, and we need a reply at least 2 business days before the appointment, because if you don't need it, then we need to backfill the appointment. Now, that becomes awkward on a Monday, so you'll get the reminder, and we need the SMS reply by mid to early Friday morning, because without it, then we can't backfill that appointment. If we don't hear from you, then we'll email you, and if you don't reply to SMS or email, we will cancel the appointment so that you don't get failure to attend fees. And again, the failure to attend fees are well and truly below cost. They're simply to try and stop people from doing this repeatedly. Then the other thing to talk about is Zoom appointments. So this is my Zoom room. I usually can't change a new referral for a new issue to a Zoom. APRA is really clear that new diagnoses, if at all possible, should be face-to-face. And given I'm in Adelaide, if you don't live in the middle of nowhere, then it really does need to be face-to-face. So if your child's sick, let us know. And then there's no fees for last-minute cancellations for illnesses. Don't take it the wrong way, but I don't want to catch gastro and I don't want to catch influenza. I'll then be out and not be able to work, which puts waiting times behind. So please let us know if you're sick. If your child can come with someone else and you can be on a Zoom room, I can make that work. If there's separated parents and you both want to attend, as long as there's not World War III during the appointment, that's fine. But it might be better if one's on Zoom and one's face-to-face. And if that's going to happen, just remind me on the day, because it's not a normal setup to do that. And I think the most important thing is, if in doubt, just communicate with us. Just let us know. We really want to work with you. We want the best for you and the best for your child. So from here, I look forward to working with you in the near future. Take care.